16 and TurboGrafx CD for live video games and 2,000 times more memory. Turbo Express Portable, Turbo Chip compatibility, basic system $99.99. TurboGrafx 16, the next generation now.
Oh, we have something special for you today. Oh yeah, boy. Today, we're going over TurboGrafx 16. And how in the hell are you going to play some TurboGrafx 16 in the 2020s, in the 2030s, and so on? So, today's video, we're going to be going over everything TurboGrafx 16. What the heck are you going to do? You know, because it's a really awesome system. And most people don't know this. So, we're going to be doing a deep dive on the ways that you can play. And then, we got some gameplay, of course. So let's check some of this out. Here it is, 2020s, 2030s, whenever you're watching this video. Well, you want to play some TurboGrafx 16, but you're like, holy shit, you know, that's some old stuff. Well, it sure is. Unfortunately, during that time when TurboGrafx 16 came out, the Super Nintendo was the main thing on the scene. Everybody was playing Super Nintendo, and I had a Super Nintendo, but I managed to talk my mom into getting me that TurboGrafx 16. Somehow I managed to do it. I don't know, but I did. Well, you know, further down the line, most people back then were either playing Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo. But then we had these other systems that came onto the scene, like Jaguar and TurboGrafx 16. Yeah, those systems. Well, it's now 2020s. And you're going to ask yourself, well, I still have some TurboGrafx 16 games, or maybe I want to try it out, other than using a ROM or an emulator. Well, if you're one of those people, you're going to be like, how in the hell do I hook something up like this to my damn TV in the 2020s? Well, you don't, because this is a low signal right here. So, this is UHF. And UHF basically is very unstable, and it's a very weak video signal. It's very, very weak. Like back in the day, it was acceptable for the TVs we had. This day and age, TVs use a more higher voltage, better signal quality, all that. So if you're going to be grabbing an original TurboGrafx 16 to play games on, you're going to be sadly mistaken that this thing is ancient and may or may not even play. Same thing with the Super Nintendo, and same thing with Sega Genesis. It's just so old, it may not even work. You may have to take it apart and clean it first before you actually try to get it to work. So on the sides, you know, you have the plug-in for, you know, where the antenna switch thing is, and I think the power, you would actually have to take this stupid thing off here, and the power goes in right there, as you can see. And so this is where the CD would hook up to, and you'd have to run the cord for the power kind of through this cover whenever you had it together right here on the side right here. So I didn't really like that feature about it though. But the card thing was really cool. Now, I'm never going to plug this back in. It's going to have to be cleaned up before I ever try to use it again, because this thing was awesome. I played it up until 2012 and kind of shelved it since. So maybe a little bit less than 2012. So this day and age, you're going to be like, well, how do I play TurboGrafx 16? Well, you could shell out an arm and a leg for a TurboGrafx 16 game system, or you could end up doing what some people do, is pay an arm and a leg for the Mini. And the Mini, the problem with the Mini is it's really, this is actually the best Mini ever made, and nobody knows this. It came with all these TurboGrafx 16 games, and then a whole bunch of Japanese PC Engine games. This thing was loaded to the brim. There was one problem though. If you were a TurboGrafx 16 kid, you knew damn well that the system originally came with Keith Courage. If you bought the system, this game came with it in the box every time. I don't know, all the ones that I've seen came with this. Now there was like a Bonk's Adventure one that I think came, but the thing is the prices these days are so overly gouged out that, you know, you're like, how am I gonna play this, you know, this day and age? This system is really cool. This Mini is actually one of the best ways to actually play if you're gonna play. The problem is though, is it doesn't come with a power source plug. So you have to buy the power source plug separately. Talk about a headache. And it has to be a regulated like 5 volt, like a steady 5 volt regulated one, a special type. You can't just use any one. You know, you can't just, you know, it's got a USB or something, and if you put the wrong one in there, you could short out the system. Well, what kind of headache is that? Those things, they go for like, I swear to God, I seen one for $500 the other day on eBay. And I'm just like, you know, $1,000, $500, holy shit. People are crazy. So, I have your solution, everybody. There are 2 ways. First off, I'm going to announce, yes, analog is your #1 choice when it comes to this. Now, the analog do. Look at this thing. This is the analog do, everybody. And it does do. The reason why they called it the do is because it'll do you hard, baby. It'll do you right. It'll just do. It does the Mountain Dew. It's the do, bangity do. Oh yeah. So, I just had to get that out there. But what's so awesome about what analog does, okay? It's not just promoting what they did. Okay, so this can play your discs. This can play your American and Japanese. Yes, that's right. So the cards go in here, and the disc can go in here. Amazing. I would say as soon as you get one of these, if you order them, they're still available from Analog's website. Okay, you can get this right now for a decent price. And not just that, this system looks good, okay? As soon as you get something like this in the mail, first thing you want to do is you want to update it, okay? So this right here has an SD slot right here. I would get an SD card and put the update on there and stick it in there, baby. Now, I don't think these came with SD cards. You had to buy them separate, okay? And if they do, then it's in the box, and I'm not going to look into that. But as you can see, the size difference here, the Analog 3D is kind of massive in one way, but smaller in another way, you see? So, it's not too bad. And, to be honest, I'm going to get another one of these, because these are just awesome. And you got to put it away and stack it up. Now, there is a cheaper option to play your TurboGrafx 16 this day and age. There is a cheaper option. And this option is hard to find, so if you find it, you better get it, because I've seen these disappear off of Amazon really fast. You can actually go to Hyperkin's website and order it. This is a Hyperkin Retron GX, whatever. But the main reason why you want to buy this is, look right here, it says TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine. Now this only takes the cards. This will not take the discs. So that's why I said, if you're gonna really go TurboGrafx 16, buying the Analog Do is the way to go, everybody. So back in the day, everybody was like, we gotta have this. Well, this is how it's gonna look whenever you get it. The box says, you know, HD compatible, AC adapter, you know, all that crap. And we're gonna open this thing up. Now this is kind of like what the back shows, and I'm going to end up actually doing a gameplay video using this only, and we're going to be showing this thing work. So as you can see, the screen size, it says it does both, so there you go, and stuff like that. I'm going to use their actual controller because it looks like you can use the original controllers here for the TurboGrafx 16. Now, don't forget that those aren't your only ways to get a controller. Hyperkin makes a controller. Old School makes a controller right here. I've already went over this, but Old School makes one that works and fits and has the switches and everything. So don't be confused. There is wireless ones available, and those are kind of hard to come by, the wireless TurboGrafx 16. So, let's open this puppy up. Let's get started. Whoa, look at that. Right away it says, let's game. Oh, man. 1987 reboot, or reborn. Oh, man. Holy moly. As you begin to open this thing, you see that your eyes just glitter with love. And a whole lot of love just pours on out all over it like hot dogs. That's right, folks. You're gonna pour all over that sucker. So, first things first, we've got the little mini console here, and it looks amazing. Look at this thing, dude. So apparently this little H right here lights up. There's your controller ports, and it looks like you could even use USB. Wow! Wow, that's awesome. So what's with this? What is that? A little bit of dirt or something on there? So that's obviously the switch, and it'll lock into place or something, who knows. Here's the sides. It doesn't look that great. Here's the back. Apparently there's a little chip right there, which tells me you might be able to do some little bit of hacking with this. Now, of course, it's set to full screen right there, and you got your HDMI output and the power. Wow! And then here's what it says on the back. Retron console made in China. Oh, TurboGrafx 16 and PC engine. Now, just so you guys know, the PC engine was the Japanese version of TurboGrafx 16. And don't know if any of you guys know that. Not everybody knows everything. So if there's a piece of cardboard in there, holy moly. But here is the controller. Holy goly. Holy moly, I just Jesused all over the place. Look at that. Holy moly, everybody. Whoa. Whoa, and it feels good. It feels a little bit bigger in the middle, though, right here. It feels kind of funny. So you can actually see the size difference here. This one, it's very, very, very close to the original. Oh my god, it's almost like a complete knockoff to it. But it feels bigger, and it is. It is bigger. Doesn't have rumble support. You don't want no rumble support anyways. That's retarded shit. Anyways, check that out. It's got some bumps on the back, maybe for some gripping. We're gonna check this thing out. Look at that pin connector, looks crazy. Look at that bundle, 10-foot cord or some shit. Crazy, huh? Now, of course, like Hyperkin always does, they're just like Analog. They give you stickers. They might be friends with Analog. I don't know, but that's the sticker you're gonna get in there. And of course, you know, it says, let's game. They give you this, thank you for your support. Premium quality, haha. Yeah, so you can find them everywhere. And then they have this 20% off exclusive offer. You know, it doesn't really matter to me if you scan anything. Yeah, so they've got some sort of booklet here. As you can see, it's just, I don't know what those words are. I can't read. Yeah, look at all that. Holy shit, can you guys read that? Eh, not me. Anyways, so, pretty cool. You know, it gives you a little 20% off offer there. Just, you'll get that everywhere, so you guys can always scan that. Can you scan it? Pause the screen and scan it. I don't know if it really does. Who knows, I may have tricked you. It could be demons on your phone if you scan it. So anyways, you get this other little box in here. And this is where some goodies are. So we're opening it up. Holy moly, do you see the goodies in there? Batman's in there and everything, dude. Holy smokes. So this is what I was talking about. The other TurboGrafx Mini over there requires a little power supply, similar to this, but I don't know if I'd use this one or not. You gotta have like a steady reference voltage or something, a certain amount of amperage that it doesn't short something out. So see that output that says 5 volts? Has to be a steady 5 volts. So this is what I got a problem with. Over in Japan and China, they really love their little USB stuff. You know, little USB cables. It's like their way of getting rid of stuff. So, today, you know, when it comes to original hardware, I love original hardware, everybody. You know, okay, I'm a retro classic fan too. But who in the hell, if you don't own one, you know, I have to clean this thing up. Look at this crap. What is that? Oh my God. This thing is ancient. It may not even work. I mean, it always worked, you know, so many years ago, but let's be honest. To get a signal out of this, it's going to look like shit on your TV. We want to play in 4K, and this is how we're going to do it, folks. This is how we're going to do it today. So, today, the special game of the day. And I know you guys always love this sort of thing. What kind of game are we going to pick? And a lot of people don't know, but when it comes to abilities, see, it said it plays the PC engine. And a lot of people don't know about this, but there was a Knight Rider game for the PC engine, okay? And not everybody knows that, okay? I have Knight Rider on the Nintendo, and I have Knight Rider on the PC engine here. So, most people don't know, but this is a Hue card, whatever they call it, you know, the PC engine version. And that's right, Knight Rider, the original. I think we should go with that. We're going to test that out. Because all the other games are great and all, but they're only so much fun. And these are special. The Addams Family, I got a special workup coming for that. And when it comes to some of the other games, they're great and all, right? But we're doing it old school. So, you know, these games here are great and all, but, you know, it's like the TurboGrafx 16 only had a handful of good games. And that's the problem. You know, it was a smaller collection of games. It wasn't like Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo, pretty much, you could make a game and have it published on Super Nintendo in like a week. I mean, that's just how fast it was. They were popping out games like Lawnmower Man, and every movie came out on there. Batman 1, Batman 2, Batman 3, Batman 4, Batman. They had Star Trek Next Generation. They had everything that you could think of, okay? So, tonight, I'm bringing to you some Knight Rider. Ho ho ho. Get ready. It's going to start loading like this, and it's going to say Hyperkin, and then this is going to load up. It's going to look like this. Not bad, not bad. So, it's checking file. That's really strange. Knight Rider Special. That's really crazy, isn't it? So, it already started the Knight Rider Special right away. Looks pretty cool. Checking out this. Oh, shit. Written in Japanese. I can't understand shit. Well, maybe I'll stop talking and let's get to the actual game around here, boys. Ha ha! Alright, so as you guys can see, the game is completely in a foreign language. Hi choko choko paka hukawa! Yeah, some fucked up shit, ain't it? So, yeah, it's a great game, right? It's the only Knight Rider game that actually stays kind of true to the image of Knight Rider in a way, and has the music of Knight Rider. The only problem is the voices are definitely not Knight Rider. So, I guess over there in Japan, this was all completely legal. But just a quick run through here. So, say whenever you start the game, you'll see that you have to make it through this city that's nightmare, right? So, you've seen me trying to play this, and it was the worst shit ever. And then he just talked right there in a foreign language. If you notice, Michael down there has two different color eyes. One is blue, and one is kind of brown like poo-poo. So it's really weird. Like, why couldn't you do the eyes, right? Anyways, so if you push forward, you'll see that the car kind of goes, and push back, and the lights, brake lights. The number 1 button, okay, it's so easy to wreck into stuff. Your life over there on the top left is kind of it's kind of interesting, but you see you got some guns there. You got a machine gun, and you can fly up in the air like that, and you can hold down the button and just stay in the air around corners, and I'm still in the air. It's so cool. Anyways, so it's really weird. I could see myself actually beating at least the first 2 levels on this, but it's just not it's not the best of games, but it's better than the Nintendo version, which is very similar to it. The only problem is I was trying to figure out if you push the start button, it pauses the game. Okay, it does nothing. Okay, but if you hit the select button, it'll make a weird noise, and I'm not too sure, you know, what's that? What is that doing? I have no idea. I would figure it would change the guns or something, but it's just not. So, I don't know. It just says option up there with M gun. Now, for a Japanese game, how come it shows, like, English in the game all over? Like the word life and score and option and time, distance. All that stuff is there, and it says game over in American. That's all American language. And Is it half and half? Is that what this is? And I don't know what it said there. So it says Knight Rider Special. So anyways, you guys have fun. But that is the most rarest official Knight Rider game you're ever going to find. Good luck, everybody. See you guys on the next one.
So, you want to know the story of Splatterhouse, the new horror video game for Grafx 16? They say he stalks the old haunted mansion. They say he's looking for his girlfriend. They say his only weapon against the maggot-eating ghouls who took her is a 2x4. And you say you want to play this game? Splatterhouse. Only for the Grafx 16 system from NEC.
Zombie apocalypse.